2v2?
We thought about it in Champions League that they might lane swap and give Maokai a camp and send him with the TP bots because his laning 1v2 is pretty easy, especially when he gets a camps. But it didn't really bother us. Like, I just gave a leash to Lulex and then we just like transitioned into double jungling.
Right. When you did end up in the lane versus Maokai, you were able to get the better of him even with the ganks coming in. Let's actually get a replay up on the screen from a moment where honestly, I thought you were dead, but you got out of it. Talk us through it.
Since I built tanky, I knew that it was quite easy for me to just cut it out. So I just waited to stack my passive and get my W procs off as much as possible. And I wasn't backing off a second. I was just running around waiting for my passive. And I knew that they would overextend for me to kill me when my passive was out, but it just came up in time. And then I just got my ulti off and then escaped.
Yep, you did. Did you notice that Maokai in that one, or Overpower, had the Righteous Glory? He didn't finish his Route of Ages. Did that influence your decision, or were you just going to go in anyway?
No, I would have went in anyway. I just noticed in the middle of the gank that he procced the Righteous Glory and started charging him, and I was like, oh, okay. I'm just going to go with it anyway.
Probably, something I want to ask you actually, because the Rocket composition for me, it looks like they'll eventually like just run out of damage, and the only way they can win is just like taking a lot of towers down. Was that something you were worried about, or did you just like focus on wave clear, or like?
Once the game started and I realized they 2v1'd, it became a concern that they would take turrets too quickly and we wouldn't be able to come back. But the bigger concern that I kind of stressed to the guys was we had an immobile mid and they had Lee Sin, Lissandra.
Yeah.
So in my mind, I'm like, all right, their game plan, if they just camp the hell out of mid, it's gonna, destroy us because they took top turret, took bot turret, and if the mid ganks worked, I don't think we would really have our opening to come back in the game.
So for ODOAMNE, you guys have been in the LCS now for a couple of weeks. Have your practice methods changed a bit? Like, are you getting used to, the LCS rhythm of like playing 2 matches every week and preparing for opponents, or is there something that has changed from your time in the past as like the amateur scene?
Yeah, it definitely changed. Like, scrims now make a lot more sense. We practice every week different specific things, and we just have different scrim goals every scrim set we go into, and we just prepare for the teams that we will face each week.
Looks like you've taken a huge leap forward, and this week specifically, probably have you noticed a notable difference in the way they're communicating? Because it seems to be very clear, forward when you have an advantage, push it through.
Every week it kind of gets better, but it's kind of hit or miss in scrims, at least for communication, because it's like, if things are going well, they're like, hey, buddy, let's go do ganks. And then when things are going bad, they're like, I'm just going to farm until the scrim's over. So scrims were going bad this week, which are really good for us, because whenever we lose scrims, we do well in the LCS. So when communication goes down, it's always kind of like a panic, because I'm like, I haven't seen them communicate that well in scrims yet. But every time I watch them in LCS, I know they're doing everything the way they wanted to in scrims.
Well, at least we know you have a lot of experience with bad scrims.
I sure do.
Final question for you, ODOAMNE. In the very first week that Krepo was here, he was saying that you were the only player he saw that was already on LCS level and maybe even one of the best top laners in the league. Do you feel like now slowly you're able to prove where your skill ceiling is?
Well, each game is definitely a chance for me to prove my skills, but I don't really think about it that much. I just try to give my best, and I just take everything as a learning experience.
Well, that is the right approach. I would say 2-0. Congratulations, gentlemen, in this one. We're going to step away for a moment, but when we return, SK Gaming will take on Giants. Stay with us. We'll see you in a few.
Still not quite tanky enough, and they're keying off on him despite the Vander ult. Now they're going to turn attention to the Janna.
Okay. Listen.
He's going to twist and advance. Lulex has to flash away from this one. Ryu, ODOAMNE all very low. Bolide is going to pick up Yarn, and maybe they can find a turnaround here. Nukeduck is trying to make the plan. He's going to go down. They're still going to find Kasing. H2K stack another win.